Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and if you do not know me, my name is Gemma and I am an exchange student studying in Canada. Wow, I can finally say that. Where am I studying? I'm studying at the University of Waterloo, located in Waterloo, Ontario, so it's a city near Toronto. Sorry that I haven't been posting lately, it's just because the exchange process has been like really full on. I'm just getting settled down here and I've been here for around about 2.5 weeks. If you haven't seen the video of me coming to Canada, you should check it up here. If you have, I finally found housing. Woo! It was a difficult process, I gotta say. So pretty much in this video, let's give you an update on where I am at my life. The exchange process to get here was actually really difficult. I did not expect it to be that difficult. This is just speaking from personal experience, and I feel like the university wasn't as supportive as it should have been because, I don't know, they might have just been in lockdown for 2 years and they weren't ready for this. They were kind of like to us, you are our test guinea pig, so good luck. And I'm like, cool. But I was also talking to other friends who are heading on exchange. Des, Angus, shout out to you guys. And they also have different experience with the exchange process because one of them was like they did have 2 years to prepare for us to go on exchange. So thinking about it now, it was kind of a messy process. One of the issues that I ran into was obtaining a study permit. I don't know how it flew over my head, or should have been more support about it, but I didn't know that I needed a study permit to enter Canada. Literally 1.5 months before I entered Canada, I had to apply for a study permit, and oh my god, it was just so difficult because when I talked to like the immigration team, they said it would take 3 months to get a study permit. Like, what? So I applied for it anyways and just waited. And I also had to get my biometrics done in the city. There just wasn't a lot of people to talk to, I have to say. There was just not a lot of support. Also, another issue that arose while going on exchange, the other issue was housing. I had this expectation that, oh, I'm gonna have the college experience, live on a dorm, but unfortunately that wasn't the case for me. So I applied for housing on campus and I applied actually in time, but they were like to me, so sorry, we're full. And I was like, alright. So they were like, look for off-campus options. I applied to this one place and I waited for 2 weeks. They never got back to me, and then I like emailed them again and they're like, hi there, so unfortunately we're full. Thanks though. What the heck? Like, I literally waited for your response and that pretty much wasted 2 weeks. It was really difficult to find housing from overseas as an exchange student because you can't go view the property. People think you're scammers. Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, which is one of the advertising sites. So landlords and apartment places, they were pretty much filling up. And it makes sense because the domestic students, they can pretty much be like, all right, let's look for housing way in advance because they know they're going to the uni. I felt like my whole process was just really delayed, and it can be partially my fault and it can partially be not, but I feel like it was just very unorganized from the beginning. So like, yeah, a lot of places look for a year lease, which was really annoying because I'm not staying here for a year, so they're like, okay, bye. And then some places you respond to them and there are hundreds of other people responding, so your chances of talking to them is like really slim, and when you do message them, they just leave you on red. You know, I understand like that's how it works here, so what can you do? Can't believe I stressed over this while I was in America. It was really annoying looking back at it now because I was like every day just trying to find housing and just that whole process, and one person said yes to me, understood my situation, and didn't give me a day to give them the money. They were like, sorry, we're gonna go with someone else because they gave me the money already, even though they said yes to me, which is really like misleading. You're playing with like people's emotions. It's just so sad because there are so many other people in this scenario. Yeah, so on the like last few days in America, I was just like, I need to enjoy my time. I'm not gonna bother with this exchange stuff because I have pretty much wasted energy just worrying about my exchange process, which was so annoying because I wish it was sorted before I went to America, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and that's okay, we are here. And people are still struggling to find housing, which is really sad. Like, you would expect the university to help you, and it's really annoying because in this one region there are 3 institutes all competing with each other on housing. The University of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier University, which is literally next door to Waterloo, and there's Conestoga College, I believe. There are so many institutes here, it's actually crazy. Like, I swear this whole town is just run on university students. It was just really difficult to find housing, but once I got into the country it was a little bit easier. So I found this place, like a 10-minute bus ride to the uni, and I'm used to traveling an hour to my university in Melbourne. So I'm not complaining, I'm just counting my blessings at the moment, and I'm just grateful to have a place to stay. Moving on to my next point, studying courses here. If you're an exchange student at Waterloo, you would have to go through your school's team. So I'm in the Department of Engineering, so I have to communicate with someone to enroll into courses. So I'm pretty much like, hey, can I enroll into this course? And then they're like, let me see if it matches up with your timetable. And they're like, oh no, it doesn't, find another course. So you're like, okay, let me find another course. So you do, and then you send it to them, and then they are like, now I have to go send it off for approval. And that can take a week. Like, I'm still waiting on one more course. I have 3. I just want to do 4 here, and people do 5 here. I'm just asking for 4 subjects so I can graduate on time when I go back to Australia. And then they're like, some courses they're like, did not approve because you didn't meet the requirements. And it's just insane because I'm an exchange student. It's not like I'm a first year student jumping into a 3rd year course. I have prior knowledge. Hoping by the time this video comes out, I have obtained 4 courses. And then they tell us, but when we get to the uni, oh yeah, be aware that some of the courses you can't do. Thanks. Speaking of sorting out my subjects, got an email. It is a bit stressful at the moment, and I know I will reflect on this in the future and be like, wow, I stressed over nothing, but it's just in the moment, you know, you're a little bit stressed, anxious, because it took so much for me to get here that I'm just counting my blessings and just being grateful for what I got. Because I met one girl and she was going to go on exchange and she didn't because she couldn't find housing. So let's talk about what my experience at the University of Waterloo has been like for now. It's actually been okay. It's really interesting because I feel like I'm a first year again, just talking to people, finding my classes, messing up, but that's okay. But I'm pretty grateful for this place. Like, if you guys want a room tour, I'll give you a room tour. It's not a big room, but I'll give you a tour. I'm pretty grateful. Like, the place that I'm staying at currently is pretty nice location. And guys, like, there's so many squirrels here. As an Australian, there are no squirrels. Like, what are even squirrels? They are running around like everywhere. Like, I'm trying to think of the equivalent of a squirrel and I can only think of a possum. Every time I talk to people, they think Australia is so dangerous because there's so many spiders and dangerous animals and dangerous birds, but it's not true. It's just a stereotype. And I saw a wild turkey in a backyard and on a roof, which is crazy because we don't have turkeys running around in Australia. So pretty much the people in the house that are staying here is the owner, which sleeps in another room downstairs, another university student, a working professional, and me. So there are 4 people in this household, and that is okay. I was the first one to move in here, and it was a little bit terrifying because the room wasn't done, so I also contributed by moving stuff out of the room. And I actually used to not be in this room. If you do watch my shorts, I used to be in another room, but I chose this room because it was cheaper. And you know what? Your girl's on a budget. Post-COVID, you actually have to go to class now. I used to not go to every class, but now I have to because they don't record the lectures. So you're gonna have to get used to that. And midterms, I've never taken a midterm before. It's not a thing in Australia. Also, I have to get used to exams because I haven't done an exam in a while because RMIT removed them, so can't wait. So what do you expect to see from my channel? Hopefully soon, when I do get my stuff sorted, I will create a University of Waterloo vlog. So I'm excited for that and see how it compares to my RMIT vlog. So I will also make stuff about being an exchange student and also just my experience in general in Canada. You know, I see Canada as this. America's here. Australia/England is here because Australia and England are close. So Canada is in the middle. They got some qualities like America, but they also have some qualities like Australia. I think I might save that for another video to discuss about that. And also, as an Australian, people think I'm British. Like, I can tell a British accent. We do not sound the same, but according to Canadians, Australian and British people sound very similar. So I get mistaken as British a lot. And I also call my family mostly every morning and night, and I actually have to organize calls with my friends. So pretty much when I wake up, they're about to go to sleep. And then when they wake up, I'm about to go to sleep. So we have to be very organized and plan out when we are going to call. I'm going to stop the video here, so thank you so much for watching and just listening to my experience and my life updates so far. If you are new, why don't you hit that subscribe button down below, and I guess leave a comment if you are a university student studying at the University of Waterloo, or you're another student in Toronto, or are you from Melbourne and are following me along this journey in Canada. Thank you for being by me since Melbourne. But once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you stick around to see my journey.